gentlemen. As we talked about in class, I was going to go ahead and post a video about Module 4, Lesson 7. As you can see, this was our bell work today. Remember, you will have a bell work assignment at this beginning of the next lesson, so do not forget about that, that it will be a graded assignment. I'll make sure that your substitute knows to pass out the bell worksheets, so there will be no excuse for not having it done. Oh, there we go. I was wondering what happened. All right. Now, just in case you didn't get it, these are your definitions from class. Like I said, the only ones I care about the most are the markup, markdown rate at the very bottom, because those provide you your equations. The equations that you're going to be using to solve your markup problems and your markdown problems. If you're not sure which ones I'm talking about these two right here. Selling price equals 1 plus m times the whole. Selling price equals 1 minus m times the whole. These two equations you're going to be using for every single one of your markup, markdown problems. If you can master these equations, you can master your homework for the night. If you struggle with these equations, then you're going to struggle with your homework. Just remember, m stands for your markup or markdown rate. M has got to be converted into a decimal. It cannot be a percent. We're not adding 1 plus 40%. We're adding 1 plus 4/10. Okay, 40% as a decimal form would be 4/10 or 0.4. All right, that is the key. You cannot be messing up something so simple. If you mess up something so simple, then your answer gets off, and then you won't be able to see what your answer is supposed to be when you get to your multiple choices. All right, let's go to our first problem. We worked on this in class, so let's go ahead and refresh ourselves. Games Galore Superstore buys the latest video game at a wholesale price of $30. The markup rate at Games Galore Superstore is 40%. You use your allowance to purchase the game at the store. How much will you pay, not including the sales tax? Well, so we're not worried about the sales tax. All we're worried about is what the cost is going to be for me to buy it from my allowance. Well, remember what I told you, when we're doing our Q's, let's make sure we circle the numbers. $30, 40%. What are we trying to find? How much I will pay. Now, what are some key words in this? Okay, well, key words are going to be things like, interesting. Put that back for a second. When we talk about keywords, we're looking for phrases that help me know what it is I'm going to be needing to solve this problem. So we need to find what it is that is necessary for me to solve this problem. Well, the key word that I'd be noticing is markup. It's markup rate. That's the key phrase, because remember what we said at the very beginning when we were looking at our definitions. Markup and markdown rates are the important thing. It tells me what equation I'm going to use. Well, markup is going to be the equation, the selling price, or SP, equals 1 plus M, M stands for our markup rate, times the whole. Now, the whole is our original price, what it was before the markup or markdown. Okay? The selling price is what I'm getting, what I'm purchasing it for. What's the amount that I'm getting after the discounts or after the markups? Okay? Now, that's the equation that we're going to be using, but now I need to write an equation to find the price of the game. So that means I got to do some substitutions here. Before I get anywhere, the M stands for the markup. The markup rate was 40%. Well, 40% as a decimal is 0.40. Because remember, here's your decimal right here. You move it to the left 2 places to convert it to a decimal, 0.40. So my selling price equals 1 plus 0.4 times the whole. The whole, remember the original price before the markup. That's $30. So times 30. Now I've got my equation. Part B suggests that I solve my equation. Okay, well, so let's simplify. SP equals 1 plus 0.4, so SP equals 1.4 times 30. Now, if you got your calculator or you're watching this on your computer, you can pull up your calculator. If not, remember, it's 30 times 1.4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 3 is 12. I'm moving to the next place value, so that means I have to add a 0 for a placeholder. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I add 0 plus 0 is 0, 2 plus 0 is 2, 3 plus 1 is 4. Now this value right here has one decimal place. So my answer has to have one decimal place. So right here, one number behind the decimal. So my answer is the selling price is going to be $42. Now, part C says, what was the total markup of the video game? How do I find the total markup? Well, to find the total markup, or we'll just put M, okay, you're going to take the selling price and subtract the original price. So our selling price was $42. Our original price was $30. So our markup rate was $12. Now you're saying, Mr. Hale, how do you know this? Remember, the markup rate is an increase in the price. So that means there has to be a value in which increased over the original price. Now, what was the value? What was the amount of money that we had to pay extra in order to purchase the video game? Well, it was $42. Now, part D says you and a friend are discussing markup rate. He says that an easier way to find the total markup is multiplying the wholesale price by $30 by 40%. Do you agree with him? Why or why not? Now, your friend is actually not wrong. If I take $30, okay, and I multiply it by the markup rate, which was 0.4, 4 times 0 is 0, 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, I got one decimal place here, so I got to have one decimal place here. So my markup rate was $12. Now, the only problem is your friend, if he had stopped right there, wouldn't have gotten the answer. See, I found the markup rate, okay, the markup value. Okay, so we're going to call this MV. The markup value is the amount of money that the item is going to be increased by. This isn't my final price. This is just the value that is being added to my final price. So I still have to add that to $12 to find out what my final answer would be, and that would be 42. Okay, so yes, your friend is right. He can find the markup rate, but the problem is he can't find the total markup value unless he does an addition problem, and the addition is key. Don't ever assume that once you find one value, you're done. Remember, the markup value is going to be greater than the original price, so that markup value has got to be greater than 100%. And the first case we had was 1 plus 0.4. That's 140%. 100% plus 40% gives me 140%. Okay, let's move on. Question 4. A $300 mountain bike is discounted by 30% and then discounted an additional 10% for shoppers who arrive before 5 a.m. Okay, this is a Black Friday sale. Black Friday sales are very cutthroat. Okay, if you next Thanksgiving, go with your mom or dad when they go Black Friday shopping. Okay, let them show you what it's like to go Black Friday shopping, and you'll understand why it's always better to go online to make your purchases. Okay, so the first problem says find the sales price of the bike. Now, it's just asking for the sales price. It's not asking us for the price after the additional markdown of the 10% after if you show up before 5 a.m. We just want to know what the bike was originally discounted by. Well, the original price of the bike was $300. The discount was 30%. So is the 30% going to be a markup or a markdown? It's going to be a markdown because the word discounted tells me that I'm going to make the price go down. So markdown is what I'm going to be working with. So the selling price equals 1 minus M times the whole. Okay, Mr. Hale, why am I doing 1 minus M again? Well, you got to remember, this is a markdown, so we're actually decreasing the original price. $300 represents 100% of the price. We're reducing 100% of the price by 30%. So we're only getting about 70% of the value of the bike. So that's where we're actually doing a subtraction problem instead of addition problem. So SP equals 1 minus 30%. Remember 30%? To convert that to a decimal, we move the decimal value twice. So it's 0.3 times the whole, which was the original selling price of the bike, or $300. 1 minus 0.3 gives me 0.7. 0.7 times 300 would give me $210. Mr. Hale, how do you know it's $210? Well, I come over here and I do a little bit of multiplication. 300 times 0.7. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 3 is 21. One decimal place value. So I got to make sure there's one decimal place value here. So again, $210. Okay. So in all, by how much was the bicycle been discounted in dollars? Well, remember, we just got to start off with what our original price was. The original price of the bike was $300. The new price is $210. So how much should we discount the bike by? 90 bucks. All right, now part C is where we take into account that extra 10%. After both discounts were taken, what was the total percent of the best was the total percent discount. Okay, now it says total percent discount. It's not asking for the total percent. It wants to know the actual value. What was our final answer? How much might I actually pay for the bike if I got there before 5 a.m.? Okay, well, so remember, we got our selling price equals 1 minus, now remember, I got 30% off immediately, and then I got to take an additional 10% off if I got there before 5 o'clock. So 30% plus 10% is going to give me 40%. So I'm going to be subtracted by 0.4 instead of 0.3 times the $300. Now 1 minus 0.4 is going to be 0.6. 0.6 times 300, okay, that's going to be $180. Okay, so there's your discount if you got there before 5 a.m. So you would be rewarded by getting there early in the morning by saving yourself an additional 30 bucks off the price. All right, now let's go to the next problem. All right, Sasha went shopping and decided to purchase a set of bracelets for 25% off the regular price. If Sasha buys the bracelets today, she will save an additional 5%. Find the sales price of the set of bracelets with both discounts. How much money will Sasha save if she buys the bracelets today? So we're looking at today versus tomorrow. Let's say she comes back and purchases them tomorrow instead. Okay, if she does it today, she's going to get 25% off plus an additional 5% for a grand total of 30% off. If she does it today or tomorrow, she only gets the 25% off. So we need to find out how much money she would save. Well, so remember, this is a markdown because these are discounts. Okay, she says, let's see, 25% off. Off tells me that I'm going to reduce in the price. If I'm going to reduce the price, that means I'm going to be using a markdown formula. So SP equals 1 minus my percent, which is 0.3, times the whole, which was going to be the original price she was going to pay, $44 for the bracelets. So we get 0.7 times 44. All right, so she would pay 44 times 0.7, be 28, carry the 2, be 30. She would pay $30.80 if she bought the bracelets today. If she buys them tomorrow, she's only going to save 75%. So again, we got 1 minus 0.25 times 44. So I got 0.75 times 44. Okay, and this is going to be $33. Mr. Hale, how do you know it's $33? Well, 0.75 is 3/4. 3/4 times 44. 4 and 44 reduce out by 4, so it gives me 1 and 11. 3 times 11 is 33. I guess I should make that look like a 1 instead of a 4. So $33. So if she ends up purchasing the bracelets today, she's going to end up saving how much money? Well, she's going to end up saving 33 minus $30.80. If you do the subtraction, you would get $2.20. So she saves an additional $2.20 if she purchases them today. Okay? That's not a bad deal. But so she's just got to determine, is it better for her to purchase them today, or is it going to be better for her to purchase them tomorrow? Okay? All right. Let's move on to question number 2. All right, so a golf store purchases a set of clubs at a wholesale price of $250. Mr. Edmond learned that the clubs were marked up 200%. Is it possible to have a percent increase greater than $100? Yes, there are many times where you'll see percent increases greater than 100%. It just means that we're making the price either, if it's 100%, we're increasing it by 1 times. If it's 200%, we're increasing it by double. Your tennis shoes are most likely the biggest culprit of these. If it costs $10 to make a pair of Jordans and you turn around and sell them for $300, that's a 3,000% increase. So it is possible to have yourself an increase greater than 100%. So what's the retail price of the clubs? Well, this is going to be a markup, okay, because it says marked up. So if it's a markup, then we're going to be using the formula selling price equals 1 plus M times the whole. All right, so our selling price equals 1 plus, the markup was 200%, so it's 1 plus 2 times the whole, which would be $250. 1 plus 2 gives me 3. 3 times $250 gives me a grand total of $750. That's how much Mr. Edmond ended up paying for his new golf clubs. $750. That's the retail price. Question 3 asks, is the percent increase of a set of golf clubs for $250 to $750 the same as a markup rate of 200%? Yes, they actually are the same. The percent increase states that the value goes up by 200%, whereas a markup rate has already given you the percent. You just have to find the retail price. So these two are actually synonymous. They are interchangeable. All right. Well, like I said, so when you get 250 to 750, you need to find the percent. Whereas with the markup, you already know the percent. You just got to find the retail price, the selling price. It's the same equation, just looking for certain different parts of the equation. All right. All right, so now we got to work backwards a little bit. This one here's a different problem. A car that normally sells for $20,000 is on sale for $16,000. The sales tax is 7.5%. What percent of the original price of the car is the final price? So I want to know what percent of the original price is the final price. Well, the original price was the $20,000. The selling price is now $16,000. So was this a markup or markdown? Right, this was a markdown. So that tells me the problem that I'm going to be using is going to be selling price equals 1 minus M times W. Well, the selling price was $16,000 equals 1 minus M times 20,000. Okay? So now I got to do a little bit of work here. I got to divide by 20,000. Divide by 20,000. Okay, 20,000 divided by 20,000 reduces out. We take all these zeros out. We get 16/20ths, which can be reduced by 4, so that would be 4/5. So we get 4/5 equals 1 minus M. All right, so we're going to change this around a little bit. Come over here and follow me. So this is 1 minus M. So this is a negative M plus 1 equals 4/5. Okay. Now, like I said, we never like to have a negative. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to multiply this whole thing by a negative 1. Everything by a negative 1. So now I've got M, negative 1 times a negative M is M. Negative 1 times a positive 1 is a negative 1. 4/5 times a negative 1 is a negative 4/5. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Okay, so now I'm left with M equals a negative 4/5 plus 1, or 5/5. So that would be 1/5. Now, is 1/5 my markup? It's my fraction, but it's not my percent. So 1/5 is the same as, if I convert this to 100 on the bottom, 5 times 20 gives me 100, so 1 times 20 is 20. So that means it's 20%. That was my discount, 20%. Okay, that's my M. M is 20%. There's your answer. All right, algebraically, that's how you would solve it. You could sit there and create a table if you wanted to and work yourself backwards. Okay, there's many ways you could do this. All right, so it says find the discount rate. Oh, sorry, my bad. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Let's go back to number 1. It says what percent of the original price of the car is the final price. The markup rate was 20%. So the percent of the original price is 80%. Okay, that's the percentage of the original price, 80%. So what it's asking is what was the percent of the original price. So the original price was $20,000. The selling price is 80% of the original price. The discount rate was 20%. Okay, I apologize. So your discount rate is 20%. All right, so by law, sales tax has to be applied to the discount price. However, would it be better for the consumer if the 7.5% sales tax was calculated before the 20% discount was applied? Why or why not? Okay, so we got a 7.5% sales tax. So we know that the price of the car was $20,000. Okay, that was the original price. So if I do the sales tax now, I have to multiply this. And the best way to do this is think about this, okay? A sales tax is a markup, okay? That's what's happening here. We're marking up the price for the sales tax. So if 20,000 represents 100% or the whole, okay, we're going to multiply this by 1 plus 0.075. Okay, so this is $20,000 times 1.075. This will tell me what the price is before I take the 20% discount off. Okay, what would it be if I got the sales tax first, then took the discount? Okay, so let's see here. 20,000 times 1.075 equals $21,500. Okay, that's the new price. That's our new whole. Okay, so this is our new whole. Now it's time for me to take my discount. So now that I found out how much it would cost for the car after the sales tax, now what would happen if I took 20% off of this? So I'm multiplying this by 1 minus 0.2 now, because that's 20%. So 21,500 times 0.8 gives me a new price of $17,200. Okay? So that's the price of the car if I did the sales tax first and then found the discount. Now, I already know the discount price of the car is $16,000. Okay, because that would be if I took the 20% off at the $20,000 mark. Now, if I'm going to multiply it by the sales tax, I'm going to take this number and multiply it by here. Okay, so I'm multiplying it by 1.075. Okay, so 16,000 times 1.075 gives me $17,200. Did it matter? Did it matter which way we went? No, they gave us the same price. So it doesn't matter. In this situation, it doesn't matter if the sales tax was calculated first or the discount was applied second, because we are still looking at the exact same set of numbers. We're looking at the same markup, and we're looking at the same discount. So the numbers wouldn't change. Since all the numbers are being used, all the numbers are identical, everything's being done the same way, we get the exact same price. So it does not matter. Okay, so remember that, just in case you see a problem like this coming up on your 10 ready. All right, that's your last problem. Now, like I said, if you ended up watching this video and you made it all the way to the end, I told you that I was going to tell you something that I wanted you to come in and tell me on Wednesday, and I would give you an extra credit assignment or extra credit points. Okay, I want you to tell me that the expression that is on the poster in my wall, in my room, is 2n plus 5. Okay, I'll say it again. I want you to come into my classroom on Wednesday and tell me that the expression that is on my poster, okay, it's titled Expressions and Equations. You're going to tell me that the expression listed on the poster in giant bold letters in the middle on the very top is 2 times n plus 5. You tell me that expression, tell me that you've watched the video, then I will give you extra credit points. Plus, if you can show me that you completed everything that was in this video, I will also make sure to give you a full classwork grade for that as well. All right. Y'all have yourselves a good night.